All right, guys, welcome back. This is RandoGEEK, and I want to talk about this whole Twitter blue check mark thing. Uh, cool article here, which you guys may find interesting. Actually, I've been intrigued by this whole thing ever since Elon Musk took over Twitter. I think there's pros and cons to this, right? This whole check mark thing. First, let me just agree that I really think that it's cool that if you're a small business or a content creator or podcaster, self employed podcaster or content creator, and you're trying to grow your channel and you're trying to get your information out there, your content out there, I do think that there should be an easier way for you to do it. I know it's hard. There's a lot of big dogs out there and there's a lot of competition. That's with anything, right? Basically, anything you want to do, the market's already flooded and oversaturated. Doesn't really matter. There's nothing really original anymore. What you're doing has already been done. You're just trying to redo the whole thing. Okay, you're trying to do it your way, give your perspective on the subject or subjects, right? So let's get that out the way. I think that when Elon Musk brought about how you could pay a fee, get the blue check mark, I think it's a generous way to help the little guys, to make them feel important, to give them some motivation to keep going. You know, a lot of the times when you had a Twitter account or an Instagram account or any social network, you could never get verified. There was too much competition. They just wouldn't verify you. It would be automatically declined. And it's been like that for probably close to 10 years now. It's as more people come on and do it, you stand less of a chance to get verified and to get into the game. It takes a really long time to break an algorithm on any of these networks, any of these social networks. So I do agree that that was a good idea. I don't think it's necessarily a good idea to remove it from people that already had it, legacy accounts. If you are a verified celebrity, if you're a verified, news anchor or news station, book writer, whatever it is, if you're a well-known celebrity or journalist or whatever it is, you should be able to get verified. I don't think that you should be penalized in any way. And it seems like that's what's happening here. So that's the reason for this article. The reason for this article is that, there's been a lot of back and forth with this whole checkmark thing where Elon has allowed. So basically, when he came aboard, he was saying everyone has to pay the $10 a month for the check mark. That's not necessarily the case now. There are some people that are still getting getting the check mark because it's a legacy verified account, or if you're a religious authority, or some kind of verified celebrity, journalist, or whatever it is, he feels you deserve the check mark. You're going to get it, right? But there's a lot of people he's removing it from, whether they pay or don't pay, and they're saying there's bitterness behind it, that he's basically just being biased, and he's basically choosing who to give the check mark to. So, a journalist is a journalist. Elon is a celebrity. He's going to be in the news. His decisions, whatever decisions he makes that are out in the open, are going to be reported, right? So he can't be bitter about it, right? He can't get mad about it. That's part of being famous. You're in a public eye. People are going to write stories about you. And unfortunately, they're going to use the Twitter platform because they have to. That's social media, right? They got to get it out there. He should not be allowed to have a biased outlook on it, or he shouldn't be able to make those decisions simply because someone says something negative about him when it's just part of the news. Just because he's the owner of Twitter doesn't mean he can drive his car into a wall, you know, and possibly, drive his car into a shopping center and run people down just because he's the owner of Twitter, that doesn't mean that he can do that and delete the article that someone posts about him. Like, you can't do that. That's not fair. That's beyond bias. It's not even ethical. It's wrong. So the article is basically saying that there's been a couple of newsrooms that were targeted, BBC, NPR, and, they're basically saying that he's very biased towards them. He believes that they're compromised propaganda outlets, and that he has a general attitude towards journalists. Sorry, he basically has a negative attitude towards journalists, and a lot of it is because they may have or may have said something about him in the past, about him, his enterprises, his decision making, and especially now, the fact that he owns Twitter and his decisions that are being made with the platform. So it's a really interesting article. It goes on to tell you, like, how, some of the people he's removed the checks from, then he's added it back. Some people he's giving favoritism to them because they treat him well, they're nice to him, maybe they've commented good on him. So, basically he's biased and he's playing favorites. And like I said, there's pros to this, right? And then cons to this. The pro is the little guy can buy the check, feel good, it's inspiring, for you, right? As a just starting out, you're trying to get your information out there. You can feel good about yourself seeing that check. It motivates you, right, to keep going. But then on the other hand, you really shouldn't, you shouldn't mistreat the legacy users. It's not correct. It's bias and it's wrong, and it's not good for business. And eventually, I think this whole thing will just blow up in his face. And again, I have nothing against him. I think that him coming aboard could be a very good thing. I just think that he has to play his hand correctly. He may be expressing too much of his power here. And he's basically trying to let everybody else know, like, this is my platform, you can get off. Either you do what I say or you get off. And it's a little bitter. It's a bitter way of looking at it. There's other ways to do it. Set rules, set boundaries, and just, keep it ethical. Don't abuse your power. And especially don't make it so obvious that you're abusing your power. Not unless it's necessary. Okay? You have to realize there's a thin line between love and hate, right? And he's basically not showing any love or respect for the people that were already on that platform. So, yeah, I don't know. All right, guys, I will share the link for you in the description. Let me know what you think about this whole topic. Would you agree that he should ease down a little bit? Do you think he's doing the right thing? Do you think that he should take aim at, whoever he feels like? You think he has the authority to do that now that he's in charge? I don't, I don't. But, that's just me. So, all right, guys, that's it for this one. I'll catch you next time. Laters.